we're back. Thanks for joining us for the next episode of the Athlete Connection, and super excited about our next guest, Miss Leah Pruitt herself. But before we get started, I just wanted to kind of give our audience and provide a little context for you. Hopefully, the goal of this podcast is to really provide a little bit of some context and a platform for current and professional athletes like yourself to really kind of share their experiences with the younger athletes. So hopefully it'll kind of encourage them, inspire them, and really kind of inform them on, what it takes, maybe the journey that you took to get there in hopes to kind of enlighten their experience. So again, super excited to have you on. We have former USC Trojan, current Orlando Pride in the WSL, I believe, is the league, right? I would say NPWS,
Yeah,
NPSL.
just
Anyway,
NWSL.
yeah, perfect. But anyway, Orlando Pride athlete, Miss Leah Pruitt. So if you could just kind of give a little bit of a quick intro, a little bit about yourself, where you're currently at, and obviously what that looks like for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Leah, and for the Orlando Pride, and this is my fourth season in the NWSL. I've kind of hopped around. I was with North Carolina Courage my rookie year, and then was on the Seattle Reign for the last 2 years, and then got traded to the Orlando Pride. I played at USC from 2016 to 2019. I transferred from San Diego State, and I grew up playing soccer. And yeah, I mean, I'm still going, so it's pretty cool.
Nice. So yeah, you said you're a local product, obviously from Rancho, and then you had that experience going through
Mhm.
college, obviously from high school to college. Like, talk a little bit about that experience. Like, how was that for you as an athlete, as a student?
Yeah, well, I feel like Rancho and like Southern California is like a kind of a hot spot for soccer.
Hmm.
So I got into it pretty young, and I have an older sister, and we grew up playing on Arsenal, West Coast, Slammers, just being in the club scene. And I was around really awesome girls and really good coaches. So I just fell in love with soccer. And yeah, I mean, I was committed to go to San Diego State at a young age, like my sophomore year in high school. I went to Altaloma, um, and then went to college, and then just decided I wanted to go to USC after my first year there.
Nice. Like, at what point did things start to get a little bit serious? Like, obviously you're playing club, and at that point, it's just for the competitive nature. But then, at what point did you realize, like, hey, you had the potential to play at the collegiate level?
Yeah, I think honestly, like throughout club, the main goal for like young girls is to go to college for soccer. I always loved the game, so I knew I wanted to continue. So I think ever since I was at a young age, probably like 10 years old, I knew like
Hmm.
I wanted to play college soccer. So that was always the goal of mine and the dream. And so it's really cool that like I was able to get there.
What type of preparation or, kind of training did you have to do to kind of prepare yourself to get to that point to ultimately
Oh my
kind of
gosh, yeah,
accomplish
so
that?
much. I mean, we had practice like 3 times a week with soccer, but that was like the bare minimum. I would go out with my dad all the time and just do like agility work.
Yeah,
We'd go run bleachers at Chaffey College. He'd bring out a tire, and we'd like flip tires on the
nice.
weekend. I had a lot of personal trainers that would just like help me with my touch. I'm a
Hmm.
forward, so I'd go out and do shooting practice all the time. My sister's a goalkeeper, so it worked out great. I could just shoot on her all day long. But yeah, it was like a full-time job when I was younger. Like I missed so many like high school stuff just because I
Yeah.
was so invested in soccer, which I look back now and nothing I would have changed because like look at where I am now, so it's all
Right.
worth it.
That's awesome that you say that, because the same thing that your dad obviously was doing with you is a similar thing that I kind of do with younger athletes. And I always tell them, like, you have to work right now to accomplish, the goal that you're aspiring for. And, you have a lifetime to make friends, but like there's going to be the percentage of people that are able to do what you're doing, but then there's going to be the larger percentage that, are, going to the parties and things like that. Like, those are kind of the sacrifices temporarily that you have to make. And you hit it on the head. It pays off and gets you kind of where you wanted to be. Um,
Yeah, totally.
how was your recruiting process? Like, what did that look like for you? Is it what you expected, or, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's changed a lot since I was being recruited for college. Um, I know now you can't get recruited until you're older, but I was like getting heavily recruited as like at a young age. Like I said, I committed as a sophomore in high school. I kind of just took the first offer I was given.
Hmm.
They were full, like San Diego State was like full ride, no questions asked, and I'm like, yes. Like my dad played football there. It seemed great. I wanted to stay close to home,
Hmm.
and I committed to them. So I like when I was younger too, like my freshman year in high school, I was like 4'11", like super small, but like like a really good soccer player. But I grew a lot. Like I'm 5'8" now. Like I'm known for being like a powerful forward now. So I changed a lot and grew up. So when I was older in high school, like my junior and senior year, I was getting like better offers from different schools. But I was like, no, like I committed to San Diego State. They wanted me when I was like younger and like
Right.
they like had faith in me. So I'm going to stick it out and like go to what I committed to. So that was like, I feel like my process was a little bit different than like a lot of people. And then once I got to San Diego State and gave it a try, I knew like it wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask the next question. Like, what changed? There's plenty of athletes that again, like, you get sold on the glitz and the glamour, or
Hmm.
you kind of get stuck on kind of the obligation, and you felt like obligated, like you're committed, you want to stick here. But a lot of people
Yeah.
don't realize like it's as much of a business as it is like a passion. So like, what changed from when you were going to San Diego State to obviously what ultimately led to you kind of want to transferring out?
Yeah. So I think what changed is honestly, I went there, gave it my all, like went in with an open mind. They're in the Mountain West Conference, which is they're still Division One. They're just I feel like there's just different levels. Like
Hmm.
we were in preseason and we went and played a lower level like team in the Pac-12. So I think we played like U of A and they were okay at the time and we
Hmm.
lost like 3-0 and I was like where am I? Yeah, and I was just like that's honestly when I knew and when girls like I don't know, I take like loss to heart and like
Yeah.
and the girls are like chilling, nothing was wrong after the game and I'm like okay, I'm not like around people that like are similar minded to me, I would
Hmm.
say. And so that point on, like I still gave it my all the whole season, the whole year, and then got out of there and just
How,
went like found somewhere that I wanted, like where people were gonna like wanted to win and
right.
wanted to be the best.
How was it, because again, we always talk with our younger athletes, it's like you get sold on the athletic program, which is one facet of it, but like, what were your thoughts on the academic side of it for, you're only going to be competing for 2 months out of the year, but, the other 8 months, like, your study hall and,
Hmm.
the school, like how important or what were your thoughts on that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I am super big on school too. I knew I wanted to stay close to home, so that was one of the big things for me. And I think San Diego State had a great program. I wanted to do criminal justice,
Hmm.
and so it was like it worked out good. And then when I went to USC, I just like saw the like prestigious side of academics like grow a little bit more too. And it's awesome. Like I think being an athlete in college is you have a lot of perks to like
Right,
have resources to like tutors and like you have study hall hours, which when you're there you're like why do I have to do this, but it like in hindsight it helps so much and it
right.
learns you how to do good time management. And I mean, I love school so much. Like when I started my professional career, I went back, so I got my master's degree
Nice.
online from USC. So that was really awesome and they were very helpful since I like had gone there, so it worked out great, which I think it's really important, like where like obviously sports is super important, but like where you go and make sure you're happy outside of that too is really important.
Yeah, and that's key because, like I said, you're going to be there outside of sports. Like it's
Hmm.
not just about, your season that you're in. A lot of younger athletes and even their parents, they don't understand, the extra things that you have to do that most, people don't understand because they think, like you said, athletes have, they got it made, they have the glitz and the glamour and they have it easy, but they don't understand, the study hall that comes with it, the volunteer hours and waking up at 6 a.m. to have practice and then going straight to class, like it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah. You have
how did
no
you kind of
time to like,
navigate through that? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was weird, like the transition out of being a student athlete to just being an athlete. I was like bored. I'm like, I have so much free time on my hands. Like this is not doesn't seem
Right.
normal, but everyone's like, that's like normal. Like now you don't have to like balance two things at once, which I mean, I think it's just such a great thing to have in your toolbox to be like able to do two things like to the fullest. Like you're so invested in like your sport, and then you're also, you got to keep your grades up, so you have to be invested in your grades. And I think, yeah, it's just it's cool and awesome.
Right, yeah, that's perfect. How was your mental preparation kind of going into it? How was your physical preparation? Like, what are things that you kind of had to do or found or learned that you needed to do to kind of make sure that you were putting yourself in good situations, whether on the field or in the classroom?
Yeah, I would say like going into like soccer, you would come in the summer and then do like your preseason like training and workouts and stuff. And everyone thinks like that's where you like get fit, but that's where you like need to be fit already.
Hmm.
Like if you come in and aren't fit and just want to come in and like, oh, I'll just get fit when I'm at school, like you're already like 5 steps behind everybody else. So I
Hmm.
think it's important to like stay on top of your fitness. Like you want to go in and like be as fit as you can to show that you are like prepping to like come in and like make an impact right away. And yeah, I think on the mental side, it's just like learning how to balance like your sport can definitely like consume you if you let it. Like you just kind of have to like once you're off the field, like you're off the field, like you still have like a full other life that you can
Yeah.
live. And so I think like balancing like not bringing like soccer drama or just like how you're playing like onto your other load that you have, like okay, now I have to worry about like this test I have going on. So it's just like learning how
Hmm.
to balance the two.
Yeah, that time management and balance is key.
Yeah.
What about, or how do you deal with like some of the adversities or the expectations? Like understanding, you have a plan for things, you train for things, and things don't necessarily go the way that you expected, whether you're highly recruited or maybe you end up at a college that you thought you were wanted to be at, and that changed. Like, um, how did that expectation match up to the realities that you had, whether it was, in college or even at the professional level now?
Yeah, I think I like always just try to like I'm very confident in myself and know like situations like that I'm in if they're good or bad, but if I know that they're bad and like I can fix it, like I'm going to do whatever I can because I like trust myself and like
Hmm.
want the best position for myself. So just like when I was at the rain last year, I like wasn't dressing, wasn't playing. And so I like changed it. I'm like, okay, I want to get traded. Like, let me go. So I
Yeah,
think you just have to be an advocate for yourself. And like, if you're in a bad situation, get out of it. Like, it's not good mentally to be in.
right.
And like, if you're not, that's why I just feel like you just got to be an advocate for yourself and just be confident in like whatever decision you decide.
Yeah, and I think that's true at any level, whether you're getting recruited, like I said, not getting caught up on the sell, like making sure you
Hmm.
really take the time to figure out, what's the best situation for you, whether it's at the right school, right team, current team, it's all those things that you have to kind of be aware of. That's great. Um, what do you think were maybe some of the most influential things that you learned or that someone kind of helped you learn? Obviously, like I said, going into college, through college, transitioning out of college, like what do you think are some of those important things that you picked up? Uh-oh, did we lose you? Oh,
Sorry,
there you go.
I
No,
had
you're good.
you're good.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
I would just say I always just like try to have the best attitude and like give my full effort in everything I
Hmm.
do, like whether that be on the field or in the classroom and like with relationships and everything. Like that's like the only two things you can control. Like I even remember like my sophomore year when my first year at USC, I was came from San Diego State where I literally was like freshman of the year, like got the most goals on the team, and then went to USC and was coming off the bench every game.
Mm,
And I mean, I girls were like, "You're not letting this like bother you. Like you should be starting, you should be playing." But I just like took that role on and gave it everything. And um, I mean, I made an impact every time I came off the bench, and that was like
right.
what I was gonna do. So I think like, yeah, I mean, I could have like totally spiraled out and been mad and like gone against what everything like the coaches did, but I was just controlled, like showed up to practice every day, worked my ass off, and
Yeah.
um, couldn't had a great attitude about it. And I think like if you do that, like people, you're gonna get rewarded, and people are gonna
Yeah.
notice that for sure.
Same question, but like what's that same approach from academics, because again, a lot of high school kids coming out of high school, going into college, like you have no idea what that expectation is like. So kind of what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think you all like you have to give it your all in the classroom too. And like using those resources, using your teammates. Like I had girls that had taken the classes I've taken, so I've like
Mm-hmm.
would ask for help. um don't be afraid to go talk to your teachers. Like I got a lot of advice, like you should sit in like the first 3 rows, and like
Mm-hmm.
I would always go and talk to the teacher like off the first day and be like, "Hi, I'm Leah. I play on the soccer team. I'm probably going to be missing a few days, but like
Right.
I want you to like know my face, know who I am." I would like make a friend who wasn't an athlete in the classroom so that I could get their notes if I was gone, just like know what
Right.
I missed. So I think like you just have to like find the resources to be able to like yeah, just like manage the classroom too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's key because you talked about it, being an advocate for yourself. Like that applies to
Hmm.
the classroom because you're right. There's going to be those days where you're going to miss, certain lectures or you're going to miss or maybe have to take tests early or even later.
Right.
So having a mentor or having a couple friends or resources or someone that can help you, like you need those in your back pocket to succeed because as we both know, if you don't cut it in the classroom, you're going to get cut on the team,
For
basically.
sure.
So
Yeah.
got to make sure that you cover that. That's awesome.
Hmm.
So looking back at young Leah, and obviously I know you do and work with a lot of young girls, young athletes, like what are a couple things that you would maybe recommend to them, whether it's, sport specific or just academically or professionally? What are some things that you can kind of provide or some takeaways that you've learned along the way?
Yeah. Um, I would just say you got to just stay confident in yourself and just
Mm,
trust the process. I would say you don't need to rush into things. Like I for sure rushed into like my decision to go to San Diego State, which was fine. Like I don't regret it at all, but like I would just
right.
like don't like jump at the first like golden ticket, I guess.
Hmm.
Just really think it through. And I would just say learn how to do time management, like with soccer and with your academics, like right away. I feel like I didn't really learn how to like manage it until I was at USC, and it was just like
Hmm.
more prestigious where I had to like really focus down on it.
Right.
And so, yeah, just like time management, enjoy every moment because like it goes by really quick and it's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's key. That's great. Last question, and I always end every episode with this. If you would go back and do it all over again, what would you do different and maybe why?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I would do anything different except for maybe like get out of a tackle that caused me to have a lot of knee problems.
Yeah, then there's that. There's that part. So if you had a young girl looking, obviously looking to follow in your footsteps, like what advice would you give them or give her, give him, as they're going through or looking to start along the same journey that you obviously are on right now?
I would just say like there's definitely going to be ups and downs, but you just got to be confident in yourself and trust the people around you, trust your coaches, like trust your teammates, and just always show up every single day and do go above and beyond, to be the best, because like going to practice when everyone else does isn't gonna do it. Like you're gonna have to work harder and push yourself and do more than the standard, honestly, to reach the highest level.
That's fantastic. Last question. This one's a bonus question just because I'm curious. Through your experience, what do you say is probably the biggest highlight of your career slash journey at any level?
uh okay, definitely my sophomore year when I transferred to USC, we won the national championship.
Hmm.
And by far that's like still one of the best days of my life. Like it was just so rewarding. And we played West Virginia, and the game ended up being 3-2. But like I said, I came off the bench every game, and that game I came off the bench, and it was 2-2, and a ball like got cleared out. It was like the corner for the other team, and
Hmm.
like someone just cleared it out on my team, and I'm just sprinting all the way down. It like is about to go out, and I like beat the girl around and pass it, and we score and we win.
Nice.
So
That's
like it's
awesome.
just a highlight.
Yeah,
Like just like kind of just shows like you got to just keep working and everything's
right.
gonna go great. So yeah, definitely that is the highlight of my career.
That's awesome. So, real quick, I don't know if you want to or not, but if you'd like, feel free to give out your Instagram. If anyone wants to kind of reach out to you, follow your career, obviously in Orlando. Um,
Yeah, my Instagram is just Leah Pruitt at Leah
nice.
Pruitt.
With the blue check, super
Yeah.
official. Great. Well, thanks again, Leah, for hopping on. You're super insightful and really appreciate you taking the time. Again, for anyone that's listening, hopefully this gave you a little bit of context or really a window or a glimpse of what it looked like from high school, obviously, to the professional level from one of the best to do it, I would say, at USC. Probably great. But anyway, if you have any other questions, concerns, thoughts, feel free follow us at Tri Elements Fitness on Instagram and check out our website, trielementsfitness.com. Just learn a little bit more about the organization and obviously what we're all about. And that's it. That's a wrap.